Let me ask you, what do you think is the single most powerful form of leverage you could ever get as an individual and as a business owner or entrepreneur? What do you think it is? Is it financial leverage? You put a little money in, you get to manage a lot of an asset, right? Or is it the leverage you get through people? You can build a team, and then lots and lots of things get done, and you don't have to do them. You might want to even pause the video and see, what do you think is the single most powerful form of leverage? Well, I'm here to tell you that without the slightest iota of a doubt, there's no debate, the single most powerful form of leverage you will ever get is mental leverage. I'm going to tell you what it is, why that is true, and then I'm going to give you some proven ways to start increasing your mental leverage from here on out. Stick around. So what is mental leverage, and why is it the single most powerful form of leverage we could ever attain? Well, it's real simple. Mental leverage is the ability to create your own reality. And here's why it's the most important leverage. Basically, it has control of and directs every other form of leverage you could ever get. It's meta. Why? Because only in your mind are your realities formed. Now, what's that mean, your realities? Well, let me quickly share with you how I first came across this. When I leveraged out of my speakers bureau over 10 years ago, automated it all, I semi-retired to a 40-acre horse ranch in Peyton, Colorado. And I was still coaching business owners, so I wasn't fully retired. But I had automated out of a business, and I thought, wow, and I'd done it with some of the Kiyosaki ideas, and especially out of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this line on an asset. There were several assets you could create, but one was businesses that run without requiring my presence. Well, that phrase stuck with me, and I had automated out of this business, and I spent 2 years modeling Robert Kiyosaki's entire model. I have it in 2 thick green binders, in fact, 47 beliefs. It's a macro model, and Kiyosaki is particularly consciously competent and unconsciously competent. It's astonishing. Few people are. One of the things he talks about is the fact that in your mind, your realities are formed. So I took a deeper dive. What does that really mean? So let me unpack that for you, and I think you'll understand why this is so important. What does your realities mean? It's 3 things primarily. In your mind is these 3 things that are determining what you're capable of, what's possible. So first, it's your own beliefs about what's possible and what's possible for you, what you're capable of and what your business is capable of, and whether or not you're worthy and your company is worthy. You must expand these 3. We can't get beyond our current reality. These consist of beliefs, frames, ideas, assumptions, but the idea is, stop and think about it. You have to expand what you think is possible and what's possible for you as an entrepreneur and you and your business. If you don't think more is possible, there's no way to achieve it. One of the realities is that, or the facts is that the world is mirroring our reality, our beliefs, our assumptions, what we think we're capable of. That's the second one. If you don't think you're capable of more, the world can't give you more, in a sense. And it's not just more for you personally as an entrepreneur. It's that your business is capable of more. Notice I said capable, meaning it may not be doing it now, but you need to believe that it's capable of more. By the way, the best definition I know of a belief is a feeling of certainty. How certain do you feel that it's possible for you to be at a whole other level as an entrepreneur, that it's possible for your company to be at a new level of performance? How certain do you feel that you're capable of this and that your company is? And the third one is worthy. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel certain that you're worthy? We can never outperform our self-image. It acts like a thermostat. And in fact, reality is giving us, in a sense, life is giving us our mindset. So this is why mental leverage is the most powerful leverage there is. The ability to create financial leverage. is being determined by your mental leverage. Relationship leverage is being determined by mental leverage. Every kind of leverage you can think of is being driven by this one kind of leverage. So it gets exciting. But the first thing I want you to know in this snapshot video really is how crucial mental leverage is. Also a basic understanding. What is it really? Remember these three things: possibility, capability, and worthiness. And it's your own sense of certainty of these things and your own level of these things. And the important point is, to get to another level, you must expand your reality, your sense of what's possible, what's capable, and what you're worthy of and deserve, because life will give you that mental equivalent of it, of your mental mindset. Got it? That's the first point. So here's one of the most powerful ways to up-level and change your own mental leverage. And it simply is the habit of stepping a little bit outside your comfort zone. Now, we all have this comfort zone that keeps us kind of where we're at, and it's the human process known as homeostasis. And it's really a thing that we all experience. We tend to stay in a certain level and zone, and if we get beyond it, we get very uncomfortable. If we go too far beyond it, we get very extremely uncomfortable. So the secret is to systematically step a little bit out your comfort zone, but not too much, and then kind of stabilize at that little bit of a stretch. What happens is you get used to being a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. And so your comfort zone, if you do this habitually, expands and expands and expands. And your comfort zone really is how much you're capable of, what's possible, how much you can be, how much you can earn, what you can achieve. So the problem or the mistake people make is, while it's okay to take big, bold moves and make a big step out of your comfort zone, from time to time, it can create almost a personal kind of trauma. It's difficult to stabilize. It can create instability. So occasionally I recommend doing it. But more importantly, I recommend this habit of little bit out of your comfort zone. Because the reason is, it systematically expands your comfort zone and your capability zone without any of that trauma that happens when you step too far out of the comfort zone. I want to give you a quick experience I had with this that just absolutely astonished me. I used to go to a Toastmasters group, and I saw a woman stand up, and I'm a professional presenter. I presented for my whole life. I have a seminar business. I own a speaker's bureau, and occasionally I go to one of these meetings, and I saw a woman stand up, and she was just, my heart went out. She was trembling and shaking. She was terrified, and she was just giving a little talk in front of the group. And I went up to her later and I said, "You did fantastic." And Toastmasters is a great organization. I recommend it wholeheartedly, always have. And it's for just professional people who just want to get better at speaking. And now they teach a little more leadership and stuff, communication skills. Well, I'm a professional, so I don't go to Toastmasters anymore. And even then, I was kind of doing other things. So about 3 months later, I went back to the meeting of the same group. And that same woman stood up, and I literally did not recognize her. She was confident. She gave a speech. And I thought, this is the woman. It took me a minute to realize she was the woman that was trembling, physically shaking. She was a different person. And I walked up to her afterwards. I said, "You are terrific." And I told her, "I was here 3 months ago and you were just like terrified." I said, "What did you do?" And she described taking a little bit of a step. She said, "Well, I didn't want to give up and give a whole speech. So I started just standing up and introducing myself. Then I did the table topics where you volunteer and they'll call on you and you have to talk for 60 seconds on any topic right off the top of your head." She said, I was nervous at first. I did that. Then I did the one introductory speech. And she said, "Now I'm going out in the community. I'm giving speeches." And I went, she described this master process, a little bit out of your comfort zone, a little bit. And you can't almost believe what can happen. Okay. This is it. This is one of the proven ways to change your reality, what you feel is possible for you, what you feel you're capable of and know you're capable of, and what you feel worthy of and deserving of. So here's my action step for you. Rather than just say, hey, that's a great idea, Alexander, I already know that. So, hey, I want you to go from insight to action. So here's my recommendation. Schedule on your calendar right now, at least once or twice a week. If you're a high achiever, do it every day. Add it to your morning routine. You get the idea. Schedule this activity where what do? You specifically choose some way to step out of your comfort zone. Only a tiny bit. Make sure you put in your reminder, only a tiny bit, because if you go too far out too soon, it's too uncomfortable. Nobody sticks their hand into the fire. Well, crazy people do. The point is to not make it too uncomfortable. That's really the secret. And to do it consistently and make it a habit. If you do this, I can guarantee your mindset will expand. You will have mental leverage, and you have a master formula right here for doing it. The second way that is proven to change and up-level your mental reality is one of the most powerful principles I've ever come across in my life. I'm going to put it right here in this video. It's on the top 5. I've devoted my lifetime to profound knowledge. Here's one of the top 5 most powerful things you'll ever learn. Here you go. And it's powerful because it changes your reality. That's a minimal buildup I can give this because of everything I've learned in over 40 years of stalking profound knowledge. This is probably one of the top 3, but I'll say top 5. Ready? Here it is. It's an illusion that life is happening and you're telling your story about it. Well, we went to a party and this happened and this guy said that and then I experienced. That's not what's really going on. Life is very illusory. If you know this. The ocean looks like you can walk on it. You can't. Looks like you can just dive in and it's really calm. There are sharks down there. Things are not what they seem. And it only appears like reality's happening. You're describing it. Now, here's the reality that is, like I said, of all the things that'll change your life, this will do it. Here's what's really happening. You're telling a story and life is giving you your story. And that is the order it's happening. Not the other way around. It only appears the other way around. And here's a bold way to say this. Your life and your reality, your capability, isn't going to change until you change your story. Life is giving you the beliefs, the assumptions, the self-image that you're projecting. If you keep saying the same story, you get the same thing. So the grand principle I'm kind of being dramatic about here is that we must change our story. And when we do, life matches it. So here's how to change your story. 1, begin telling a story that's a little bit of a stretch, just like the previous principle. Don't try telling a story like, I make 20 million every day. And, it's too big. And your subconscious will say, yeah, but you're not. You get resistance. That's how people make mistakes, even with affirmations. So you don't want to tell a story that's not believable. Tell one that's a little believable. It's possible. Maybe more could happen. It's believable, but it's a little bit more. So tell a new, more resourceful story for more, for better, possible, capable, worthy, a little more. Tell the story internally and externally. And then here's the second little point on this. Absolutely, utterly refuse with all the adamants you can muster up to tell your old story. If you do what I just described, your life will change forever. I guarantee it, because I know this is a universal principle. The universe gives you your story, and that's what's really happening. Happy people tell happy stories. You'll never meet a person who's happy who's complaining about everything that's miserable. They're miserable. Life is giving you your story. I had a girlfriend years ago who used to say, she taught me something beautiful. She said, I love my life and my life loves me back. And I wrote that down on a 3x5 card and turned it into an affirmation. And I was so impressed with her. I thought, that's just phenomenal. Love your life and your life will love you back. But if you hate your life, you're complaining all the time. Do you know that when you complain, you manifest what you're complaining about? Because you're putting your attention on it. Life is giving you your story. So this is a superpower technique. If you're interested in this, I'll make a whole video just on this one and tell you more about how to do it. But let me know in the comments. Please make comments. So there you have it. The second kind of master formula for getting mental leverage is to tell a new story that's a slight stretch and is believable, and keep telling it, and refuse to tell your other story, your current story, and watch how like it's faster than you could ever imagine. Things will start to change. That's the secret that I want to give you in this number 2 way to create an entirely new reality and get mental leverage. Hey, I'd like to ask a big favor. Would you make a comment below and tell me how you have created mindset shifts, mental leverage? You can tell I'm obviously really into this, and I'd love to learn from you what's worked in terms of getting you to a new level mentally as an entrepreneur, but even perhaps personally. Only share anything that you're comfortable with sharing on social media. But I'd love to learn from you what's worked for you in terms of mindset shifts and where you feel stuck, what hasn't worked. I talk a lot about the self-image. I talk a lot about your story and mental leverage like I have in this video. But I'd love to learn from you, and I will go through the comments, and I'll start making videos and things on things that you mentioned if if I can find out where you're stuck. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for watching. And it's great to be doing these videos and getting to know you better. I hope you'll dive in and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Hey, I want to inspire you and encourage you to grab some of the resources. I'm going to drop some links down below. The first is the new scaling mindset. It's the 5 mindset shifts that act as super catalysts for growing and scaling your business. I also have a program called the Workflow Optimizer. I've literally taken scaling a business and broken it down into some of the singular skills, and I put them into little micro courses so you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to sign up for a big high-ticket coaching program. You don't have to build an operating system. All you have to do is build these skills a little bit one at a time. They have a money-back guarantee, 30 days. If you don't get results, let us know. We'll give you your money back. The first one is all about optimizing the workflows in your business. And the other one is even more amazing. I take the mindset shifts to the next level. And then I added the actual fundamental skill for scaling of being able to identify the finest opportunities for scalable growth that exists on the playing field and the board right now for you and your company. Think about having these 2 skills. So, it's unique. I think growing and scaling can be really overwhelming. And what I've done is break it down into bite-sized chunks. You can focus on it. You could probably do this first micro course in a week, the second one maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And you have 2 of the most important core skills for scaling a business. And it's just that simple. So check out the links below and enjoy.